I wanted to take a couple of minutes and share this model with you about the relationship between a business and its customers, which seems to be ever too prevalent. Actually, the relationship between a business and a customer should be a synergistic one where the business should create value for the customer, which improves the customer satisfaction, which in return the customers increase demand, which results in growth of the business, and it's a virtuous reinforcing cycle. Though far too often, because business being the way it is, and really enjoying or having a preference for success, oftentimes focuses on activities to promote its own success, which are not directly related to creating value for customers. They're just other kinds of things that the business gets involved in trying to promote its own success. But what happens is that those activities actually end up limiting, in one way or another, the value that's produced for the customer, and therefore adding less to customer satisfaction, adding less to demand, adding less to the growth of the business. So you have a balancing structure that ends up limiting the growth that could have been there. And as a result of that, the customers actually end up creating demand because of a decline in customer satisfaction. It increases demand on some other supplier that's creating value and satisfying the customer, which is a balancing loop intended to bring the customer satisfaction back to the level that the customers want it to be, and that the demand that is created because of the decline in customer satisfaction ends up depressing the demand placed on the business itself. So it ends up being a lose-lose scenario. And what actually turns out is that the whole thing creates a stabilizing loop where the business focusing on its own self-promotion, self-success, diminishes the value provided to customers, so it adds less to customer satisfaction, which increases the demand on some other supplier, which reduces the demand on the business, which adds less to the success of the business, which adds less to its self-promotion, and the whole thing actions, so that the business ends up limiting its own success by its own actions. And it's just the typical nature of things. We are, in fact, more often than not, our own worst enemies. The customer or the business would, in fact, be far better off to keep its focus on creating value for its customers. So, hope you found this interesting and informative, and I'll see you in the next video.